What's up, Tango230? I hope everyone's having a great day. Welcome to Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude, the Corrupted Case File. So, Mel suggested we should do this before going into Ghostwire Tokyo itself, just so we get some backstory to the events that occurred before Ghostwire Tokyo. So there is a photosensitivity warning. Just want to warn you all of that. And there's going to be a lot of reading. So, from what I read, it takes about, I don't know, like an hour or something, maybe a little less. And you can actually play up to, I think, maybe like more than that, if depending on choices, I think. But I'm just going to go through once. So, this is going to be a whole one shot. So, let's go. Question mark? Rinko. God damn it, Rinko. Erica? No one wants to talk about it, but it's all that's on anyone's mind these days. Mysterious things are happening all around Shibuya. Sightings, attacks, disappearances, fear. How's a kid supposed to be a kid in a time like this? But honestly, Ryota never really was like most kids. He's not usually glued to his phone all day. The Kiragoa vanishing, the Marunouchi vanishing, the bathroom vanishing. Oh, I have to click on one. Let's go to the bathroom vanishing. Could monsters really live among us? These case files say that yes, they absolutely can, and do, according to this one. A lady called me about a missing person who vanished from the bathroom of her apartment. Usually I'd brush it off as another runaway, but after seeing the crows circling above her apartment, I had a feeling there'd be more to this. The black stains on the front door verified my hunch. It turns out that I'm the only one that can see these black stains. That's probably no one's gonna believe you then. The lady who lived there and showed me in made no signs of noticing it. She showed me the bathtub and gave me a play-by-play of what happened. Her boyfriend was taking a bath, longer than usual, and so she went to the bathroom to check in on him. When she opened the door, her boyfriend was gone, and for a short instant there was a reflection of an old shrine on the surface of the bathwater. I rubbed my finger on the rim of the bathtub, and there was a transparent, sticky, slime-like substance on it. A reflection of a shrine shone on the water's surface. I'll need to talk further with my team about this incident to see if these things ring any bells. I purged the black stain on the front door and then left the scene. Poor lady, what will she do now? What can any of us do? KK. So I have to read all of them? Ryota's concerns bring him to a mysterious case file posted online. It's titled The Kirigaoka Vanishing. I feel like I butchered that. He reads it to himself the best he can. Having tracked another report of dark fog in the area, I arrived to find it had passed, leaving dreary rain hanging over the neighborhood. At the scene, all we found were the clothes of a mother and a son, left behind like two molted cicada shells. It's hard to even imagine a parent and her child just gone, precious lives snuffed out forever. My heart sank, knowing that I had failed to protect them. It was the worst feeling I'd ever felt. As if on cue, the rain started pouring down. Heavier and heavier it fell with each passing minute. But I couldn't be bothered to take out my umbrella. That's when the obvious culprits returned to the scene of the crime. A group of monsters. They had umbrellas of their own, as if rain followed them wherever they go. I was furious. I brought hell down onto them at that very moment. They tried to protect themselves with the umbrellas, but I just kept pounding on them until they were battered and broken. I was so exhausted I could have fallen over at any moment, but my utter wrath kept me going. As I picked up to leave, I still refused to open up my own umbrella. I just walked away, rain pouring and soaking me to the bone. KK. KK sounds very intense. Unable to shake the idea that monsters are all around him, Ryota navigates on his phone to a document called the Marunouchi Vanishing. The language is complicated, but he works to understand it. It says, I got a tip on a missing woman from Marunouchi. Saying that's so wrong. When you've been a detective as long as I have, you tend to build up a big network of contacts. The story my contact told me was that they saw the woman one day when the fog rolled in. It blanketed the area and then poof, she was gone. Times like these make me wish a certain somebody was around. Come to think of it, the fog in these disappearances set the scene for when I first met the rest of my crew. Everybody kept talking about folks just up and disappearing, and I thought it was a load of horse shit. It wasn't until I met them, and until my encounter, that I believed. Ever since then, I've been haunted by what I would have once called hallucinations. Turns out being able to see spirits and monsters isn't fantasy movie nonsense after all. Guess I should be thankful, because otherwise, I wouldn't have seen through that monster taking the form of the woman. She made a bunch of red orbs appear that chased me around, but I knew so long as I didn't let myself get surrounded, I'd be okay. She was a nightmare to look at, so I put her out of her misery. When I searched the scene, I spotted a woman's handbag, found the missing lady's ID cards in there. Then I came across some clothes that looked like they would have been hers. They were in a little pile, but the way they had fallen made it clear her body had just vanished. No mistaking whose handiwork it was either. I'd finally managed to get my hands on a solid enough lead to work with. KK. This one. In these posts, the kid had found something, or rather someone called KK, had been looking into monsters in this part of town, a believer just like Ryota. Social media would never lie, and that means KK is an expert, maybe the expert in all things paranormal. There's only one thing left to do. Having pored over every story, post, and grainy photo about local monsters he could find, Ryota prepares to take action. So, before I continue, I thought, at least based on the trailers, everything would happen all at once, but it's it's creeping along, which is, it's interesting, because I thought everybody, kind of vanished all at the same time, but it was just, I don't know, it's whatever's going on was, testing the waters or something. I'm gonna ask this KK guy to help. Just gotta figure out where he lives first. Okay. Yeah. Ghostwire, that's probably it. No? Okay, contact. What am I pressing here? Dear Mr. Investigator Person. Who this? Rinko. Dear Mr. Investigator Person, hello, how are you? I am not good, and I need your help. Monsters got my best friend, Sosuke. Rinko sits up in her chair. She's zeroed in on one of a dozen monitors from across a makeshift command center stuffed into this cramped Tokyo apartment. It must be really hot in there. It happened near the manhole. Please help me get him back. Data flies across the screens, seemingly too much. Charts and graphs, maps and mathematical equations, even social media feeds and open case files. Somehow, through all those screens and all of that clutter, Ryota's message catches Rinko's eye. Sounds desperate, but it could be just some bored kid trolling us. Calm and confident, Rinko insists on balancing compassion with skepticism in her analytical approach. On the other hand, that manhole is within the vicinity of several recent incidents. Maybe he is involved. She knows what she thinks, but she also knows no one can protect Tokyo all by themselves. Trusting your teammates is the only way to keep everyone safe. What do you make of it, Ed? Ed squints and takes a single deep breath as he turns to the screen. He has something to say, but holds it back. Technology is easy, people are hard. Instead of speaking up, he places a small recorder on his desk. He presses play, and as the audio begins to roll, Ed turns and walks away. I've heard intriguing stories about so-called manhole girls in Japan. Vengeful ghosts of bullied students said to trick other children into following them into the sewer. It's Pennywise, from where they never return. If any information turns up about such anomalies, I'd be keen to investigate. Though I speak purely out of personal interest, it might not be enough to make the rest of my team pursue it without further evidence. Okay, safe to say you somehow found the time to record something this specific about a single urban legend that you want to look into it. Ed is already engrossed in other work. He doesn't respond. He certainly doesn't notice when Rinko rolls her eyes. He rarely does. Probably best we have no idea how you spend your free time, huh, Ed? Eric has been sitting next to Rinko this entire time, listening and waiting for the right time to chime in. That time is... Want me to check it out? I don't think so, Erica. It could be dangerous. What if something happens to you? Seriously? You still don't trust me to go out by myself for 5 minutes in the middle of the day? At just 16 years old, Rinko might be right not to trust Erica on something dangerous. But Rinko knows that Erica has shown a maturity beyond her years. She gives Erica an almost sisterly look of skepticism. You know it's not that. Rinko quickly turns back to her monitors and away from Erica. But for all her maturity, Erica can't quite keep from pouting. Stop making that face. Besides, we've got our very own private detective in the vicinity already. I'll have him take a look. And that's KK. The stall is brimming as a wide array of customers eat in relative silence. The only sound they make is the slurping of their noodles. The silence breaks when a phone begins to vibrate upon the countertop. The owner ignores it, choosing to focus on his meal instead. The phone doesn't care about his hunger and continues to vibrate. I feel like I'm in some... I don't know, this sounds weird. Like... I'm in some kind of... parlor or something. The phone wins because of the music. The peace and solitude have shattered. This is no way to enjoy noodles. Damn it. The silent diner finally glances at the screen. He begins to mutter to himself. Another case. These people have me working harder than my enemies ever did. Can't even get 5 minutes to enjoy a nice quiet lunch. Let me guess. I'll be risking life and limb. That's why you let it ring for so long? Too scared to pick up? You know the exact day I stopped being so scared of anything. I did. There's no so scared in there. The day you stopped being a loner and hooked up with us so we could have your back? Sure, that works. Besides, I'm not fool enough to pretend this team isn't half okay. If you need backup, you know I'll be there. No questions asked. I actually already volunteered, but right now there's nothing dangerous to be worried about. It's a simple check-in on a report of some suspicious activity that might be connected to these phenomena we've been looking into. It's always the simple cases that go south the fastest. You know what? You're right. Maybe Erica should run point on this one. Sure, she's just a kid, but you're so busy, so... Whoa, hold up. Let's not sacrifice the rookie to make me look bad. I'm already out. Send me the info and I'll get on it. First, though, I need to talk to one of you about something. Me. You know what? On second thought, I've heard everything. No. I didn't know what the thing was. It was a joke. I clicked on myself. Just point me in the right direction and I'm sure I can figure out the rest. No, man. I needed more information. Ryota doesn't notice people passing him on the street. They don't notice him either. He is young, but he is very much alone. His focus is centered on a small bit of paper in his hands. After a couple of folds, the paper finds a familiar configuration. Oh, it's that. I saw that in the trailers. With a head, arms, and body take shape, a palm-sized person stands in his hand. As Ryota inspects his creation, someone who has been observing him from afar steps out of the shadows. What have you got there? Ryota looks up. He's nervous, but clutches the paper doll in his hand to stay brave. He's not running or hiding, despite the gruff stranger staring at him. No need to be afraid. I'm not here to do anything bad to you or your little friend. Gotta admit, I've been known to carry the odd paper doll with me on investigations. Strange habit, I know. But you get the benefits of a partner without the annoying small talk. Ryota's shoulders ease. He lets his guard down, he listens to the detective, and re-examines the folded paper. The detective surprises himself with his playful tone. He's rusty, but he somehow still feels comfortable talking to this scared kid. Sometimes paper dolls are used for magical purposes. You a sorcerer by chance? Now's the time to tell me. So you really are him, huh? Gonna have to be more specific, kid. You're KK, the ghost hunter from the files. You must be. I just thought you'd be taller. They say you solve strange mysteries. Right? KK? Maybe. The detective looks closely at Ryota's phone. He sees a social media post featuring photos of various case files he has worked on, collected in one place. Look, I only used those initials because writing out my name is a pain, and I got too much pain already. Not your problem, right? Anyhow, that's me, KK. But I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm a detective. KK's demeanor hardens a bit, dropping the playfulness. You wanted an investigator, kid. Well, you got one. I'm so glad you're going to look into the disappearances at the manholes. Here's the thing. I already did. Wow, okay, that's KK talking. Made some calls on the way here. There's no record of any recent disappearances. Still got a few friends on the force, so I can dig up dirt quick. KK shoots Ryota a serious look. Not trying to pull a fast one on me, are you, kid? It's true, honest. My buddy Sasuke disappeared. He hasn't come home since yesterday. Last place I saw him was right back here. Ryota motions to the alleyway behind him. He went down that way. I tried to follow, but I couldn't find him. He was completely gone. If Ryota's bluffing, he's an incredible liar. A sadness comes over him when he looks back toward the alley. Keiki looks back and forth from the kid, then to the alleyway behind him. All alleys are dark, but this one looks like it's never seen daylight. See any fog when that happened? The moment he disappeared? Now that you mention it, there has been something spooky around, like a kind of fog or darkness, but it came and then went. Alright. Keiki mutters something to himself as he eyeballs the alleyway behind Ryota. Nothing looks immediately out of place. With so much going down in the city, some kid getting lost doesn't exactly seem like front page news. Call the kid's bluff. He's smiling on this one, so I'll choose that. I need more to go on, kid. Why are you so convinced he was taken? Didn't happen to anyone else around here. But it did happen to my best friend. Sosuke's been missing for 2 full days. Everyone's been looking, but no one can find him. What about his parents? Did they file a police report? I'm the only one who really cares about Sosuke. I know he needs me. And no one else is even looking for him anymore, just me. He's lucky to have you. It's like when you saw crows circling above the building in one of the cases you investigated. You knew there was more to it than everyone else. Well, Mr. KK, I know there's more to Sasuke's disappearance. I just need your help. Really did your homework, huh? I'm impressed. You're more dedicated than most adults I know. You remind me of my friend, Erika. She lost someone too, and she'll never stop fighting for them either. I'm gonna get water real quick. KK takes another glance at the alley. Alright, show me exactly where the Sasuke pal of yours disappeared. Ryota perks up. So you're gonna look into it? I'm here, ain't I? Let me check in with my team, see if they figured anything out. Could save us some time. KK reaches for his phone. What's up? We're all here. I just need a quick word with one of you to follow up on what the kid has told me. I mean, sure. You find anything else? I know you've been searching all over on your fancy computer. Some worrying details started to emerge. The type of details that mean he is for sure involved. Social media is starting to fill up with posts about the appearance of a mysterious dark fog. It's been popping up in neighborhoods with similar data sets to the one Ryota called from. School absences are also on the rise. I can't confirm if those represent actual disappearances or just spooked kids trading scary stories, but it's clear fear and paranoia are taking hold. Yeah, I figured out that much. Oh, really? You carry a fear and paranoia detector now? Did Ed develop that when I wasn't paying attention? Years on the force are what gave me my fear detector. You can't beat experience. But I do appreciate your input, even if I already knew it all. Ryota, it's time to find Sasuke. Alright. Nothing looks out of place, but things are rarely what they seem. KK slowly but deliberately reaches his hands out. He's not holding onto anything, but you would think that he is by the way he's moving, like he's got something invisible dangling from his fingertips. Ryota has no clue what he's trying to do, but he watches closely. However, what happens next can only be seen by KK's eyes. As KK opens his fingers, a sparkling orb of energy drops from his hand down onto the ground. It ripples like water in a still pond, energy flowing outward into the world. Crazy. Whoa. What the heck? He's got powers. Where did he procure these powers, though? It doesn't look like he's walking. A strange trail floats into view as though a spirit has passed through this place. Psychic energy. The trail leads further on, deeper into the alley and out of view. Guess he went that way. Puzzled, Ryota follows KK's eyeline down the alley, but sees nothing out of the ordinary. What happened? I don't see anything. Trust me, kid. It's good you can't see it. This is a power you don't want. And you're too young for it, to take a risk like that and change your life forever. The world's a scary place. It keeps getting worse. We're gonna find your friend and get you back to your life. Want some kind of transitional portal. That was an interesting effect. KK and Rinko are in big trouble this time, running like rats desperate to stay alive, with only a dingy old sofa between them and... monsters! We better find another exit. Rinko turns to KK and sees him holding his head. He appears to be in great pain. Damn, it's happening again. Your body's reacting to the ether. Oh, there's the stuff. As KK looks at the room, his vision begins to break in half. He tries to focus, but rather than reform, everything continues to split apart even further. I'm reading not the not the red text, but because that one's a little hard to focus on. Another hallucination. The world is breaking in two. That'd be crystallized ether. Another form of matter. Sounds like your body has entered the final stages of infinity. Yeah. I would have liked it if the text was put, so like stayed put. I know they're trying to go for like a hallucinatory effect, but it would have been fine if the text didn't do that. From thin air, like phantoms, these horrific visitors appear surrounding KK and Rinko. Damn, we're surrounded. So it's Slender Man, the Headless Girl, Mr. KK? Are you okay? Huh? Sorry, kid. My mind can be a little hard to control. Did he see like a vision of the future? He just kind of stood there for a little while. Sometimes my memories take me places. Hate to leave you alone again, but you need to wait here while I look for your pal. Sit tight. Won't be long. That's weird. A report on Rinko's computer setup flashes on screen. Ed's monitoring software has a hold of something big. The results are clear, spiritual residue, and it's exactly at KK's location. What is it now? We just received an alert. There was a massive surge of spiritual energy at your location. Hold off on pursuing until we're able to send support. Can't wait forever, you guys. We might have a missing child on our hands. We got plenty of evidence. I know what I'm getting myself into. Remember, fog reports are increasing. There's fear in the streets. Time to act. Of course I know those things. I'm the one who told you. I also know how dangerous it's getting out there. This time could be even worse than the last. What if he shows up? Wish he would. Excited to see that mask snap in two when I put my fist through it. It's not fair to ask us for help when you think you need us, then use our own words against us when you're too impatient to act as a team. We're in this together. KK decides to address one team member specifically to make his case. Ed. The hunger I have to solve this case is as good as any science experiment you could conduct to get to the bottom of it. Ed, how many times have my instincts been proven right by other high-tech gadgetry? That's not something I keep tally of. The purpose of my work isn't to prove you right, but it happens all the time. I'm out on the streets, pressing the darkness, trusting my instincts. I can't be waiting for you all to download a software update. I feel like you're trivializing my work quite a bit. Of course, I'm extremely thankful when I can assist you, but my primary goal as a scientist and a paranormal investigator is much greater than any individual day-to-day goals. And that's exactly my point. We all need to focus on what we do best. And what I do best is not wait around. We can all agree that you're no good at that. I must say, I quite admire your grit, and I do not envy the stress that a city like Tokyo must place on a detective who just wants to do his job. However, I would remind you, in nature, a lone wolf typically isn't alone for long. They are alone only until they find a new pack or become prey themselves. That may be factually correct, but sure as hell takes the coolness out of it. Can't disagree with that. Just try and act cool in the most responsible way possible. Our pack is stronger with you in it. I'll talk to you later. I'm in the middle of investigating. I think they know that. He never was any good at following people's directions. That attitude of his is precisely what saved our hides on countless occasions. You don't think I realized that? Erica smiles, thinking about KK's attitude. It doesn't bother her. Whew, that's a lot of reading, man. Oh, there's the headless girl. And there's the Slender Man. Damn, they're everywhere. KK's eyes dart between the two horrific figures into some incredibly strange glowing crystals that hover nearby. As he tries to speak, KK wheezes painfully. Rinko, what would happen if someone tried to touch one of those ether crystals? Your guess is as good as mine. Might give you the power to fight back. Might just make you even more miserable. Who can say? What about him? Did it grant him strength? Rinko nods silently. After getting his answer, KK, without hesitation, stretches his hand out toward the crystals. Wait, stop! Stopping's not an option. Not for any of us. You don't know what'll happen. It could kill you. And those things won't? We're dead if we don't try something. We aren't out of options yet. You've thrown away everything to fight these monsters. Same as me. There's not a goddamn thing left to lose at this point. Before Rinko can say anything else, KK reaches all the way out. Oh, fancy. What'd I do? Okay, nothing. Just read, Tengu. Oh, dang. He's being dragged? That's creepy. KK follows a trail of psychic energy deeper into the dark Shibuya alleyway, away from the glow of familiar streetlights and vending machines. His venture into the unseen brings him into a manhole cover where the spirit residue flashes with an eerie intensity. This spot is clearly the origin point for whatever spirit is at the center of this mystery. They take you away, Sosuke. KK looks around again, and finding nothing focuses his attention on this haunted manhole. The spectral vision shows KK a lot more than he thought it might, revealing a glowing specter hovering in this dark and dreary place, the spirit of a man in his 30s. Jibaku Rei? Is that how you say that? According to Japanese lore, this type of spirit is trapped in a physical location. Okay, Spectre, what's keeping you tied down there? I don't know if I did that any justice. Spectre seems unable to answer him. Instead, he mutters as if distracted or perhaps completely delirious. Either or, maybe both. Spectres aren't especially concerned with politeness or clarity. Neither of us is going anywhere until I get some answers. I need to know. What are you doing here, specifically at this manhole cover? Why haunt this place? I thought it was a kid. Just a kid playing around, just having fun, alone. I wanted to make sure he was safe. So just being neighborly, eh?
Yes. No. Not making friend. Protecting. But it wasn't. It wasn't.
It wasn't a kid though, was it? There was something else. Something lurking in these shadows.
Did I die? I think I died. But this is what I expected.
What was it?
Monster. Monster?
Spectre points downwards. Underneath, huh? KK stares at the manhole. I'm narrating as KK. As though if he looks hard enough, he'll suddenly see what lurks in the darkness beneath its cover. He doesn't have to see the Spectre nod to know he's right. It went that way. Before he can pull up the manhole cover and see for himself, a long shadow creeps in from the edge of the alleyway. Did you find anything? Snooping around is detective business. You don't belong back here. I thought I heard you talking to someone.
Who is this youngster?
Only I can hear you, so don't bother. Only you can hear me? Well, sure, nobody else is even here. This is turning into a damn clown show. Kid, I need you to stay here while I go down. It's not safe for you there.
Not safe. Not safe, monster.
But how do you know it'll be safe up here? My team's one call away. We'll get here quick if you're in danger. Weren't you just saying something about being in the middle of an investigation and too busy to talk to anyone? Funny you should mention that. I could actually use some help. I believe they call it the client services. Who are you calling, mister? Are they nice like you or nicer? Client services? Sounds more like babysitting to me. If only it would just wait for us to get there. We play the hand we're dealt. Juggling work and childcare has never been my strong suit. I need a little support. Rinko sighs, a long, tired sigh of frustration, of a frustrated person who knows that in the end, of course, they'll help. She'll always help him, just as he will always help her. I have the perfect candidate in mind. Erica. She's the only kid I actually know and like anymore. Hey, KK, you need my help? I can be there ASAP. I do need your help, but it can't wait. My new friend, Ryota, the one who called us for help, is he a little afraid of you? What? No. Why would you think that? I mean, yeah, maybe a little. But no, that's not it. Although it'd be better if he did fear me, then I could do my work. Oh, yeah, you aren't really that scary. I think I get it. Let me talk to him. KK hands the phone to Ryota and motions for him to accept this call. Yes? Is this Mr. Ryota? Yes? I'm so excited that I get to speak with you. I have heard that you are quite the investigator. I need help from someone like you. What could I do to help you? Well, our friend who's there with you, he actually has two missions. Since he is looking for your friend, maybe you could swap and look for my friend. If we share the responsibility, I'm sure that we can achieve success together as a team. I suppose I could try to help you since he is helping me. Okay, but first, can you keep a secret? It's very important and related to this mission. Yeah, I'm the best at secrets. I won't tell you how I know that, but it's true. My friend is a cat. I put a tracker on her collar that says she's nearby you, in the alley by your house. I miss her dearly. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but some of my best friends are animals. Your secret is safe with me. What does she look like? She's all black with one white spot and a few white whiskers. Her name is Monet, like the painter, and she really likes to hide. Can you look closely in between and behind all the vending machines and trash cans? Just be safe. Text me a picture of every dark corner you can find. She's very good at camouflage and easy to miss. I will find your friend. Ryota hands the phone back to KK and turns his attention to the nearest trash can. Phone out, he seems to be inspecting each side of it. Lucky for you, your new buddy is an animal lover just like me. I've given him a rescue mission to find a missing cat and send me a photo of it. What if he succeeds? Tons of strays here. I might actually bump into one. I could always use more cat pics texted to me. Okay. And maybe he'll give it a home that it needs. Win-win. Now you get to go down there and find your pal, Sosuke. Or now to get down there. There's a lot of reading. And I'm out of water. Dirty water splashes under KK's feet as he makes his way through the still darkness of Shibuya's sewers. The further he goes, the darker it gets, but not because of any change in light. No, this darkness is unnatural. In fact, it's not darkness at all. It's tangible. Dense fog made of spiritual energy fills the air. Toxic, paranormal waste coats the ground and plugs the drains. Oh. But the air itself is rejecting him. This corruption flows between worlds and reaches around him, blocking KK's way. How long has it been building up right below our feet? Is it like this everywhere? As KK goes deeper, the Kagare only increases. There's definitely something here if there's this much corruption swirling around. Nothing I can't handle, though. Alone in darkness, KK summons his power and... Am I supposed to be following that? Oh, hold X. Okay. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. This is the most interactive so far. I did it wrong. Hold on. Okay. I did it wrong on the last one, and I'm like, oh crap. There we go. Cleanses the corruption, returning to the sewer to its normal state. That's better, minus the stink. With the Kagari now cleared... As if they were waiting for a moment of safety, someone appears. Sosuke, is that you? The small boy avoids KK's look, turning his back and picking at something on the wet ground. Looks like a Jawa. Splish, splash, splish, splash. Hey, you kid, you okay? Can you hear me? You hiding from something? Take a bath, take a bath. Come on, kid, this isn't time or place. Answer me. I'm not trying to scare you, but you gotta work with me here. In the vast darkness of the sewer, the sound of KK's phone suddenly rings out, the tinny chime echoing back and forth around the hollow space. The small boy in the raincoat doesn't seem to notice. He must be very preoccupied. I'm close. I found Sosuke, but I'm worried he won't. Muffled sounds. Down so far, the signal to KK's phone is barely holding on. He can only make out a few sounds and struggles to make out what words they might be forming. Muffled sounds. Hello, is anybody there? Rinko, is that you? Ed? Erica? Who is this? I'll call Rinko. Rinko, can you hear me? Are you with Ryota? Can you ask him? Was Sosuke wearing a yellow raincoat? Scratchy connection makes it almost impossible to understand. Sosuke. It's about Sosuke? It's not Sosuke. Rinko, I can't understand. Sosuke's not what? Not Sosuke. The call cuts out, the phone going dead in KK's hand. Damn. No screwing around, Sosuke. Just like that, finally, as if called by his mother to come to dinner, the child responds. He stands up and turns to KK with his dead, evil eyes. You're not Sosuke. You're the monster. KK raises his hand and calls forth an energy that he discovered that day long ago. The day he found his back against the wall, reaching out and touching the ether crystal. Ever heard of ethereal weaving, monster? Energy surges into KK's hand, green light winding and glowing, charging around his fingertips. The increasingly bright light glows, illuminating the tunnel. And in that moment, standing in the center of the tunnel, we can see this monster, this raincoat visitor, just in time for it to press a child's whistle to its mouth, and... What the? Oh, it's the bad guy. At a stranger's fingertips lies KK, now a prisoner. I need my subject to remain calm or else nothing will get done. Despite being captive, KK flashes the stranger a fierce glare. You son of a bitch. Hello, my new friend. I'm keen to see how useful your vessel turns out to be. The stranger takes something out and holds it in his hand. An amulet, though clearly not simply for decoration, it surges with power. He looks for the amulet and back to KK and smiles. Where are we? Where was that? As the monstrous little raincoat visitor blows his whistle, he steps back into the shadowy darkness. Running away, huh? Oh, he's calling for help. But he's not running away at all. In fact, he's only making space for two much larger, more horrifying visitors to show up and challenge KK. I've been waiting to run into you again. Let's go, you bastards. Damage a single visitor with a wind attack. Visitors perish after 2 hits. This. One umbrella visitor is injured. An umbrella visitor attacks. Damage a single visitor with a wind attack. Visitors perish after 2 hits. Okay. One umbrella visitor is injured. An umbrella visitor attacks. Okay, let's try this. Oh, that's the shield. Okay. An umbrella visitor attacks, but its attack is deflected by the barrier. The barrier is broken. What is that, a trap? They're frozen in place. Only one stun talisman is left. Awakens from the stun. You're done. Oh, there we go. They made the animation for it. The fight now over, the sewer's oddly calm again. KK sweeps the space, looking for any clues that may be left behind. Oh, what a pack of monsters manifested evil here. But then he sees it, affixed to one wall of the tunnel. A wooden tag, sometimes called a kifuda. It's mostly what summon those things. KK reaches out to take the kifuda down, but as his fingertips approach it... Rinko? Damn it, Rinko. Erica. KK feels a big, quick thump through his body. When he looks down, he sees someone else's arm stabbing through his chest. It's horrifying. Black smoke rushes out of his body. Looking back up, KK sees a man wearing a Hanaya mask. I think that's how you pronounce that. You're... As KK comes to, he realizes that he's in the tunnel once again. No, still. He looks at his chest. It's totally fine. No gaping hole, not even a scratch. Sweating, breathing heavy, his mind races. It was a horrible dream. Maybe a vision? He grips his kafuna in his hand. I won't let him get away with this. So hard that it smashes into pieces. Oof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 pieces. I don't know why I wanted to count that. At that moment, KK realized he's not actually done. Alone. Distracted by his fury, he had missed the approach of someone new. Who's there? Surprised, he spins to face his entity, but before he can raise his other hand... What? KK emerged from the tunnel, found Ryota waiting for the rest of the team. You fool! You run into a wall of Kagara and your instinct is to walk deeper into it when you know we're on our way to help? Listen, No, you listen. I'm not done yelling at your stupid ass for making me worry about you. Okay, but... All of our instructions at HQ started going wild. We broke basically every traffic law in Tokyo twice to get here as quick as possible. And then we find an open sewer entrance, like little Ryota peering down into this dirty tunnel, clearly considering climbing down there despite our best efforts to cover for you and keep him busy. Sure, except... So we take a look for ourselves. It's corruption in all directions. The whole place absolutely soaking in spirit residue. It's like they're amassing an army beneath our feet, and you go sniffing around alone? It's not. Maybe let her finish? Worst of all, you arrived stinking but unscathed, having been gone just long enough to have me convinced that you were really hurt down there, that I would never see you alive again. The problem with disappearing into a dangerous sewer all alone is that the longer you're gone, after Rinko has asked you to be cautious, the more time she has to consider the things she'll shout at you when you return. The things we've been through together, when you're in danger, it's as if I can feel it deep down, and there's just nothing I can do. What if you died? The thought of being haunted by you, of all people, I almost climbed down there to kill you myself. I'm sorry. Should have waited. Don't you dare be nice to me right now. I need to calm down. I value your friendship and support. I didn't hear that. Safely above ground, reunited with his team, KK turns his attention to the original source of all this drama, his young client, Ryota. You were never going to tell me, were you? Sasuke isn't your best friend. He's your dog. He's my dog and my best friend. KK steps back nervously. Sasuke tries to jump into his lap, tail wagging. Oh, calm down. He just wants to be pet. Jeez, who'd have thought that such a tough-as-nails former directive would have such a strong phobia around dogs? Don't have to broadcast it, alright? Don't be scared. Sasuke loves everyone. Maybe you should draw the line at loving monsters and following them into the sewer. Ryota hugs his dog and gets a face full of licks in response. KK relaxes slightly, seeing how harmless this little dog is, but still keeps some distance. Thank you so much for bringing him home safely, Mr. KK. Mr. KK? What an adorable alias. When exactly did you start going by this new short nickname, KK? I suppose it has a fun ring to it, not quite so formal as your full name, Cat. Before we get too sidetracked, as the lead investigator on this one, you've got some paperwork to do, KK. Not sure what's worse, fighting monsters or filling out all these damn forms. It's obvious that you prefer the fighting to paperwork. KK scribbles out a few quick lines, only Ed can read them. Hey kid, this is for you. Ooh, is it a prize for helping you find that ghost? Almost. It's the bill. Yoda's face sinks as he's left holding the check. Lucky for you, today's work is pro bono. That means free. Consider this your receipt. I'm feeling generous right now. Yoda looks closely at the paper in his hand and says, The case of the cursed manhole extermination complete, KK. Leaning over his shoulder, Rinko lets out an uncharacteristically loud burst of laughter. Oh, now I get it. You didn't choose the nickname KK. Sloppy paperwork chose it for you. There's a lot in this life that we don't get to choose. Call me what you like. Not like I've got a use for a real name these days, and definitely not one of my old names. It doesn't matter what anyone calls me, so long as I find that bastard. KK's gaze looks fierce, as though he's recalling a bitter past. Reflected in his eyes is Ryota, who looks pleased to have received KK's autograph. KK's expression softens up in response. That said, I guess KK's not so bad. And that's it. Okay. KK. So we solved the case. We found out the stuff that's going on has been happening for a while. So I think there's once the game starts, or once Ghostwire Tokyo starts, like the main game, it's like everything just culminates into that moment. So I don't know. I mean, it's cool. Now I'm kind of curious to see if we're gonna see like Erika, Ed, and Rinko in the game, and kind of curious to see what happened to them. But I wonder, makes me kind of wonder if we're gonna see what happened to KK, because based on the trailers, KK like embodies the main character, Akito. So I was actually wondering if it was going to show what happened to KK here, but at least we know he has the powers, and that's kind of what drives the combat in Ghostwire Tokyo. So it was cool. Like, I thought there was going to be a little more to it. Like, I don't know. I thought there was at least going to be some kind of twist or something, but it was just him doing the case, and it was just us seeing all the events that happened beforehand. So yeah, it was just alright. It wasn't like engaging as I thought it would be, but that's okay. It just gave us some background information, and hopefully this will make the main game richer in that sense. So, yeah, that'll be it for this episode of Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude, The Corrupted Case File. I think that's what the last subtitle is called. So, if y'all made it this far, thanks for watching. And as always, take care and Tango 230 out. All right, y'all. Get water, everybody, and please keep smiling. I'm gonna need some water now.